College football is officially back in an hour from posting this video, and I am super excited to talk about the games today, this season, what's going to happen today as far as our takeaways. You can follow me over on TikTok, Bash's CFB Show, if you want regular, quick updates about every single game that I'm going to be watching throughout the day. If you are new here, my name is Colin Bashnigel, the host of Bash's College Football Show. And like I said, go check out that TikTok. Leave a like if you do like the video, and certainly subscribe if you want more content from this channel. We are trying to build it, and we are doing that slowly, but every single month that I'm consistently posting, we are increasing in subscribers, increasing in views, and all this stuff. So we want to continue to grow and elevate this channel. So your guys' support would mean a lot. And even if that support is just a like or a comment, that is just fine. It's free to do any of that. Some of you might be wondering, if you're new around here, what Walk That Line is. This is indeed a gambling segment, gambling video to talk about, but I'm just noting this. This is a disclaimer. I do not encourage anybody to bet. This is all on your own accord. This is very competitive. For me, it's not necessarily something where I'm like, number one, I'm a professional gambler, because I'm not. And number two, this is just supposed to be a fun little thing. If you end up agreeing with me on this stuff and you decide to bet on it, you can do that on your own accord. I am not going to encourage it. So let's get into the segment. I'm going to give you all of the locks that I have, but week 0 is going to be a little bit different. We only got one game that we locked up. One spread, over, under, team total, all of that. We only locked up one, and I'm pretty confident in that one. The rest of the plays that you're going to see today are 17 win totals across college football. How I got the number 17? It's pretty simple. These are plays that I just like, and I'm going to play as many as I like, and 17, I think, was a good number, confidence. So we got 18 plays. And our record after today will either be 1-0 or 0-1. Let's get into this segment here. We're going to start with the first game that we are betting, Western Kentucky, -10 versus Sam Houston. Maverick McIvor is coming in, and he was very, very good over at Abilene Christian, and he comes with his offensive coordinator for Western Kentucky. Sam Houston is also replacing 11 starters on defense. Phil Longo has not been a head coach in 20 years, and he's taking over a situation defensively that is a complete rebuild and retool. Now, on offense, I think Sam Houston has a little bit as well, so I do think Sam Houston's going to score, but I don't think they're going to be able to keep up with the adjustment to the change that Phil Longo is going to bring in comparison to the identity of Casey Keeler's team the last couple of years and how Sam Houston was able to win. Western Kentucky also, even though Sam Houston was a 10-win football team a year ago, they did beat them by 17 a year ago at Sam Houston. So I'm going to go with Western Kentucky -10 for all those reasons. And now we get to the win totals. Pittsburgh over 6.5 wins. Their schedule is very, very favorable. It's super backloaded. So we're going to probably know pretty early if this is going to be a good play, because I think Pittsburgh could, by game 8, be over this total. So I like Pittsburgh a lot this year. This is banking on Eli Holstein being healthy all year. And yeah, so we're going with Pittsburgh over 6.5. Stanford under 3.5. If they don't win tonight against Hawaii, I am very, very confident in this pick. I don't see 3 other wins on the schedule to even get over, even if they beat Hawaii, but let alone if they lose. I certainly don't see 4 wins on that schedule for Stanford. It's kind of a shame, but they ended up having to rent a coach this year with Frank Reich after getting rid of Troy Taylor. I love Stanford. How about Navy? Over 8.5 wins. This is going to play all the way to the Army game. I love Navy to get double-digit wins this year. I think they're going to be 8-0 going into that Notre Dame game, so they just need one win after their first 8 games in their final 4 to hit this over, in my opinion. So I think Navy over 8.5 wins with all that returning production on offense is a lock. How about FIU over 5.5? I think in Conference USA, this team is a bowl team. You got Keon Jenkins back and a lot of talent, a lot of speed. I know they lost Eric Rivers, but I think they're still going to be very solid out wide. And this FIU team definitely showed a lot of flashes in Conference USA, and I think there are enough bottom dwellers in that conference for FIU to have success. How about Notre Dame over 10.5 wins? I think if they beat both Miami and Texas A&M, this is already won. If they split that, we're going to be sweating it out through the rest of the year. But I really, really love Notre Dame if they can just survive those first two games. Baylor over 7.5 wins. This one is one of my least confident on the board, but I do like Baylor to get back to an 8 or 9 win season again. I think they're going to be contenders in the Big 12. Losing Dawson Pendergrass, who they did play a lot, the running back 2 over there, that's going to hurt them a little bit, but I think they're going to be all right. And I certainly trust in Dave Aranda's defense. Nebraska over 7.5. This one's a lock of all locks. I'm very confident that they're going to be at least an 8-win team. They have a very workable schedule. The toughest games are at Michigan and versus Penn State. All the other games they should be able to win. They got to beat Cincinnati week 1 on Thursday night. USC over 7.5 wins. Everything that I've heard, this defense is going to elevate even some more, and they were better last year. And all of those one-score games that they lost, I think is going to flip, or a lot of them at least. And I see this team being a 9 or 10 win team. How about Southern Miss over 5.5 wins? I think they're a contender in the Sun Belt. I think that Vegas is undervaluing the effect of the transfer portal and Charles Huff coming over from Marshall. He brought a lot with him, including his quarterback, Braylon Braxton. I think Southern Miss is going to be a contender for the Sun Belt title. Buffalo over 7.5 wins. I think if they beat Minnesota, 11-1 or 12-0 is actually in the cards for Buffalo. I love this Buffalo team to get to the MAC championship this year. Hawaii, they play today. Over 5.5 wins, a huge step in the right direction as if they win as a favored team against Stanford here today. That would be massive. We're going to continue with the Mountain West. San Diego State, I'm taking under 5.5 wins. I don't think that team is ready to have Sean Lewis's identity quite yet. And also, I am not a buyer that Jaden Denegal is really going to be a good quarterback for them. So I think San Diego State in a pretty tough Mountain West this year. I think the Mountain West is pretty deep. They're not going to be able to find 6 wins. San Jose State over 7.5 wins. This one's a little bit frisky, but I really like San Jose State's potential to compete for the conference title. I have them going to the conference championship and playing Boise State. We did the conference previews earlier. I think it was last week or earlier in the week. Yeah, it was earlier this week. We did the conference championship previews. I like San Jose State to go that far. Utah State over 4.5 wins. I am just always going to blindly pick Bronco Mendenhall in year 1 to go over the win total. He's very, very good at getting the most out of his team first year. I think Utah State is going to be a bowl team potentially. So there you go. Now we go to the SEC. Alabama, I just see the floor for this team being 10-2. They're really talented. This is maybe the best defense in America. If they go 9-3 again, that is going to be a huge problem around Tuscaloosa. How about Missouri? Over 6.5 wins. They have a favorable schedule. I think 8 or 9 wins is probably the most realistic spot for Missouri. But I really like what they have going on and what they're doing with the quarterback competition. It's pretty intriguing, but I expect for Bo Pribula to prevail and be a really good player for them. I'm very high on Bo Pribula. Final play, I'm taking Tennessee under 8.5. I think 7-5 or 8-4 is where Tennessee is going to land this year. I am very confident in that one as well. Just don't see 9 wins on that schedule for that team with a struggling offense in the SEC. That'll do it for this first edition of Walk That Line. Like I said, I don't encourage anybody to bet whatsoever. But if you decide you want to go after any of those plays, that's on you. But with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video where we will be talking about some of these games that are going to be played today. And I'm so excited to kick off the season.